Hello and welcome to a new chapter. Today we're going to initialize a new project in Kotlin. So for this we're going to use Gradle. You will have to install it on your machine, but when you run the command line it will just start and it will let you select different configurations to actually start from a project that doesn't have almost anything. So you need to do Gradle init reality, and this is going to ask you what type of project you want. In our case, we're going to have an application. We're going to write it in Kotlin, and we don't want multiple subprojects. And we want to use the DSL also in Kotlin, the same one. We'll give it the project name that is the default of the name of the folder. Uh, sure, but normally it doesn't allow you to use the Kotlin word at the beginning because it uses it for the folder itself of the language. So let's just change this a little bit. And I'm happy with the 17th version of Java. Uh, okay, let's just use the default. And right now we will have a new Gradle project. So now we can do a Gradle build. This will help us build our project. And it might take a little bit, but after this uh, we will just run the project and you will see what the outcome is. The next step after we do this running, we'll actually see what the code that has been generated is. So you can see that there's nothing actually strange. Okay, so now it has built, so now we can actually run and it prints hello world. So let's check why it's actually printing hello world. So let's dig into this project. We have the normal files that we created when we created our Git repository. You have the README file, the license, a Git ignore related to Kotlin. But let's go deeper into how this works. For building, we use Gradle. Gradle is a package manager. It's a build system that is used in Java and Kotlin projects in general. So you will have a few files that refer to it, like the Gradle W is just a wrapper, a shell script that is a wrapper that allows you to run Gradle on your machine, uh, and the same file for a Windows machine. That is a bad file. We can go a little bit deeper into it. There's a jar file that is downloaded for this wrapper, and there's some properties where you actually define what's going to be used. So, like for example, here is where the distribution of what's the binary that is going to be used, and some other configurations for Gradle. This normally doesn't need a lot of changes. If we go one step deeper, now that we know that we're using Gradle for our project, Gradle will use some configurations itself. So that's why we have this settings Gradle file. We can open it. And here we will see what's our project name. And also, if we're including or having multiple projects, you will see them here. In our case, we're including the path of app, that is our application. Let's go then to our application itself. There's another configuration file for Gradle here. So this is the most important one in reality. We have a build gradle.kotlin file. So what are we having here? We have a plugin. We have actually two plugins. One that explains that we're doing an application, and another one that is actually defining that we're going to be using Kotlin for the JVM. This is actually what it's providing or allowing us to use Kotlin on this project. Next, we have where our dependencies going to be retrieved from. Currently, they're Maven. It could be other repositories like GitHub. And you can also see what dependencies we're bringing. This is how you actually define what you're going to be depending on if you have another library that you want to use, like for endpoints using Ktor or Spring Boot or anything, it will probably go here. We're defining what's a tool chain of Java that we're going to be using and what's the entry point for our application. In our case, is what is on the package functional programming bootcamp app Kotlin file. Last but not least, there's a task for running our test that uses JUnit. But let's focus right now in this line number 42. Nice number, by the way. So if we navigate to our code here, we can see if we go to our source in the main folder Kotlin that there's a package called functional programming bootcamp and there's an app.kt here. So if we open this file, what we will find? As we can expect, there's a function here that prints a hello world that when run will print a hello world in our console. This is everything really from our Gradle project that uses Kotlin. There's no magic at this point. There's nothing really making anything different. Hope you have enjoyed this introduction to how to do a project of Kotlin using Gradle. In the next chapter, we will go actually deeper into what options do we have in this language and how to actually start programming something meaningful. Thanks again, and any feedback is welcome. See you next time.